All right. Since we talked about eligibility, I want to go to the presentation two. Presentation two is going to help us monitor all the information that we need to have in. I am at this point, I will have created a spreadsheet with all physical dates on them, and I'll share them with all the coaches so we'll have them. That way you can view them, and we can have a master list of some sort. But I do want to go over materials and paperwork. One thing I want to say, the more paperwork that we have and more documentation we have, the better off we'll be, and it will cover us in the long run. I will hopefully have 2 copies of most of the paperwork, probably not all, because I don't think it'll be necessary, but I'll have all that paperwork in a location that it can be accessed at any given point. I know I talked to office staff, and I believe I'll have 2 sets of physicals, one for my use and then one that will be stationed in the office for use of the coaches. The required paperwork that we want these students to turn in is the eligibility statement, which I talked about earlier. The parent pledge is another one. I think the parent pledge would be really, really good because the parent pledge is basically, a statement saying that the parents will have good sportsmanship and will hold them to that by signing a contract. The student pledge will be similar to the parent pledge, and it will be also saying that they will have good sportsmanship. The next thing that you'll have that I'm working on now is completed physical forms. The master list I'll have would be a quick reference for the physicals that I have on file. I've pulled all the physicals from the upcoming 8th graders, and hopefully I'll get all the ones from the upcoming 7th graders, and I'll have all those dates put so it'll be a quick reference for you. Eligibility checklist. What we'll do, we'll take, and there will be a checklist of things to make sure that we go through our proper steps and due diligence for each student. Like I said, I feel like that we're gonna be pretty competitive this season in all sports, and I just don't want us to go through and dominate these certain, like during football season, basketball season, things like that. And then all of a sudden we have some paperwork because it falls on me and it falls on you as the coach. So I will make sure and I'll send as many reminders as I need to get information in. And my expectation for all coaches is to have that in. And if you need any assistance or need any clarification on any paperwork or why we even need it, then we can sit down and we can discuss it, or I can shoot you an email or any kind of explanation that you need. Student and parent concussion paperwork. Concussions are a big thing in all sports, no matter what it is. I think you know what that is. It's signed in the past, and now I think at every single level, actually, believe at every single level, that students have to sign that. Eligibility list requirements. A certified list by the principal and submitted to central office staff. Now, that master list contains a couple things. I have gone through and created a digital copy, so we can sign that, actually fill that out. And what we'll do, we'll send it through 3 steps. First, you'll submit it to me, then I'll submit it to the data manager, and I'll submit it to the principal, and that way we can go through like a 3-screen process to make sure it is legit. And then we'll submit that to the central office. Now, this paperwork, especially the eligibility list, hopefully is submitted to me 3 weeks before the first competition. Now, I will send you a reminder of those dates, or send you a reminder saying, hey, I think I need your list from you, because if we hit any quirks, I want that figured out before our first competition. Trying to prevent us running around, trying to figure out who's eligible, who's not. Let's get that in. Let's get that list done, and let's get it taken care of before the first competition. That way, if we hit a glitch, we'll have plenty of time to take care of it. Now, for the students, There is no 100% concrete way to get information from students, paperwork filled out, things like that. When you have your parent meeting, I suggest, and I have done as a head basketball coach in the past, I've given that paperwork out while I'm giving the meeting. Let the parents sign, let everybody sign off on everything, and then you take that back at the meeting. Sometimes if you let that paperwork go home, you'll need to make 3 and 4 copies, and then parents lose them and students lose them and things like that. So to prevent that, just a heads up, a best practice would be to make sure you give all that information out ahead of time, or excuse me, give that all that information out at your parent meeting, and then let the parents fill those things out and hopefully have it turned in before they leave. Now, if you do let that information go, all paperwork needs to be turned in to me before the first competition, or the athlete is deemed ineligible. We need to have all that information turned in before the first competition. So therefore, if you basically just put it out there and say, look, if I don't have the information in, all of your information in, then you will not play until it is turned in. I think that will be one of the most effective incentives to getting that paperwork back. Materials. Hopefully I have it set up like this. The notebook with the vitals will be issued for you to house your paperwork. The paperwork shall be turned in to me prior to the first day of competition. Hopefully that's the 3 weeks will take care of it. And I'm working on this at this point in time. I hope that hopefully I'll have medical kits for away competitions. I'm working on it now. I'm trying to get 2, possibly 3, and we'll go over the contents of it and hopefully keep that refreshed. And where's a couple things that I'm going to map out about where the AED is located and things like that. I'm going over that with office staff at this point. That is all for this presentation. Again, if you have any questions, you can always email me for clarification, and I'll get back with you. Thank you.